Imagine an artist who constantly reinvented himself, refusing to be confined by any single genre throughout a legendary career. He was a master of evolution, always pushing boundaries. In his later work, particularly during the 1980s and into the early 1990s, jazz icon Miles Davis directly embraced and incorporated various elements of hip-hop. This included modern drum machine rhythms, looping techniques that foreshadowed sampling, and the raw, streetwise attitude inherent in the genre. His final studio album, released posthumously in 1992, was even titled Doo-Bop, a clear nod to his deep engagement with hip-hop production and sound. Miles Davis was driven by an insatiable desire for innovation. He famously said he never wanted to repeat himself, constantly seeking new sounds and ways to express himself musically. This made him inherently open to hip-hop, which he saw as the freshest, most vibrant urban music of his time. He recognized the rhythmic power and the cultural resonance of hip-hop, much like he had recognized the potential of bebop, cool jazz, and fusion decades earlier. He actively sought out young musicians and producers, eager to absorb their perspectives and integrate their contemporary sounds into his own artistic vision. For Miles, music was a living entity that needed to reflect the present moment, and hip-hop was undeniably the sound of the moment. It was a natural evolution for an artist who had always placed groove and space at the center of his musical universe. To hear these influences in his music, listen closely to the programmed drum beats and the repetitive, often synthesized bass lines that anchor many tracks on albums from his later period. You will also notice moments where the instrumentation creates a layered, almost sampled texture, even before digital sampling was widespread in jazz. Pay attention to the overall vibe, which often leans into a less structured, more open-ended feel, allowing the rhythmic foundation to drive the improvisation. His album Doo-Bop is the most obvious example, showcasing a direct collaboration with hip-hop producer Easy Moby, resulting in a unique blend of jazz improvisation over hip-hop beats. It is fascinating to note that Miles Davis had been exploring repetitive, groove-based music as early as the 1970s with albums like On the Corner. This work, often misunderstood at the time, featured extended vamps and layered rhythms that share a foundational kinship with hip-hop's emphasis on the loop and the beat. His embrace of hip-hop in the 80s was not a sudden departure but a natural progression from these earlier explorations, solidifying his reputation as a musical futurist. He was deeply appreciative of contemporary artists like Prince and Michael Jackson, always looking to see what was next in popular music. Miles Davis's journey into hip-hop demonstrated his unwavering commitment to musical evolution and his profound ability to stay relevant across multiple decades. By absorbing and integrating these contemporary sounds, he not only pushed the boundaries of jazz but also left a powerful statement about the interconnectedness of musical genres. His willingness to experiment with hip-hop solidified his legacy as a visionary who consistently looked forward, inspiring generations of musicians to embrace new possibilities.